What's up? This is Frank with the Fine Black. And this was a shocker. What happened to this beautiful lady out there in LA? Dean. So let's talk about it. I hated to see this happen. I hated to hear about it. I hated that it happened to a young lady. But what really happened is the question. Something just don't seem right. Not only does something not seem right, it seemed like something either went wrong or something nobody noticed, or it was just a hit. It had to be a hit because the dude went to work on the day he was off and just walked up on the campus and killed the young lady or unalived her, and as execution style. Now you're gonna hear them say that. So that let me know this just wasn't your average show. Something else is going on. I don't know what she heard, what she saw, or what they thought she heard, or what they thought she saw, or something she was going to change, or the person she was taking place was angry. It's something that went wrong. That this lady is unalive today. So let me let y'all hear about what they said happened. And you know what I think about what they said. It's usually not the case, but let's go on here and take a look at this thing. For our use YouTube, Facebook, this news channel here, 5 KTL 5 for use. I'm using this for educational purposes only.
From her injuries in the attack, a receptionist is still
35-year-old Dean is being remembered tonight. MB? Yes, and Mike and Cher, she is being remembered by her family and friends tonight as compassionate, loving, and fiercely loyal. Bail has been increased from 1 to 5 million today. The family of a dean of Spartan College News Tuesday that Dr. Cameisha Clarke died Monday. Her death, the result of being gunned down. Officials say by a co-worker last Friday. Inglewood's mayor expressed his sympathies to her family and
the thing. It's a since our place.
40-year-old Jesse
and that he had fled. We arrested him about 2 hours and 40 minutes later in Koreatown.
Figueroa has now been charged with murder, attempted murder, possession of a firearm, among other charges.
There's a tragedy for the school, for the family, Um, Two wonderful people, so vicious.
I don't know this mayor seems to be. Let's just take a look at him. I don't know. It seemed like he knew more than what he's saying. How do this guy get away and in 2 hours y'all catch him? He comes to work on the day he's not supposed to be at work in uniform, walks right in and unalive her, and the other person is still alive, but they struggling. So we really gonna have to wait till she, get well, hopefully, so we can get the true answer of what really happened. Hopefully, in a few days or so, I'm on it, 30 more days. I give them to make sure the lady is okay. That was with her. If he shot the woman execution style, that means headshot or and body shot. Two shots of it, to be exact. I just don't. This guy here just don't seem like he's telling everything. Something is way off about this story.
Harmed, and we our hearts go out to the families.
Clarke's family says they are beyond devastated. They say she was living her best life, doing the work she loved. Clarke grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, where she received 3 degrees at Clarke Atlanta University, a bachelor's, master's, and an educational doctorate. Her family says they are committed to seeking justice on her behalf. And now Figueroa was supposed to be arraigned today, but it has been pushed back until May 29th. Now, as for the other victim, she is said to be in stable condition. For now, reporting live here in Inglewood, Mary Beth McDade. We'll send it back to you guys in this.
We find out that this lady, this was a new job for her. I thought this was in LA, but it was in Inglewood. So, because I thought maybe that it was another, I think her name was Bass. I think she's the mayor for LA, Los Angeles, and this other guy's the mayor for Inglewood. Man, this is such a sad case. Just don't know where to go with it, and it's a whole lot of questions we need to ask. I want to know who had the job before her. I want to know, how did that guy get on the campus in uniform on his day off? Well, who hired him? From what I heard, he was already a felon and wasn't supposed to be there. But as her say, I don't know, alleged. That's a question. Who hired him? Did he have a felony when he got hired? And how was he able to get on campus in uniform on the day off? And what exactly made him do it? Was he hired to do it? Because from what I understand, there was no connection between him and her. So let's look at another one. Let me stop the screen on this one. And we'll go to another one to see if we can get more detail.
has been charged with murder and 3 additional felony counts. Investigators say 40-year-old Jesse Figueroa opened fire last Friday, shooting the dean and another employee. Figueroa is a former security guard at the school. Officials have not released details about a possible motive.
Welcome to the True Crime Vault. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more true crime stories. Dr. Cameisha Denise Clarke, born July 8, 1989, hailed from Atlanta, Georgia, an environment steeped in academic tradition and service to the community. She was part of a family renowned for its contributions to higher education. Her grandmother, Dr. Betty A. Clarke, served as a faculty emerita and former interim provost and vice president for academic affairs at Clarke Atlanta University, SEAU, creating an environment that emphasized the value of education, leadership, and service. Dr. Clarke's upbringing was described as warm, compassionate, and purpose-driven, marked by strong family bonds and support networks that shaped her into a future leader. Her academic journey began at Mays High School in Atlanta, graduating in 2007 as an active and engaged student. During her high school years, she developed interests in both academics and extracurricular pursuits, including cheerleading, a passion she would continue into her university years. This foundation set the stage for her educational and professional pursuits, characterized by outstanding achievement, community service, and leadership. Dr. Clarke's higher education path was entirely at Clarke Atlanta University, earning her the distinguished Triple Panther title for completing her bachelor's in psychology in 2011, a master's in social work in 2013, and finally a doctorate in higher educational leadership in 2020. Her academic record was stellar, achieving a 3.9 GPA during her doctoral studies, which drew admiration from peers and faculty alike. Beyond pure academics, Dr. Clarke.
This lady was very smart, very bright, very captivating. 3.9 average GPA. That's on the doctrine side. My question is, who place did she take at that school? How well did they take it? That someone of a African descent, I'm gonna say a foundation American descent. I'm gonna say that. How well did they take it? Were they happy that she was getting this new job? Who did she take place? That's what I want to know. Was that person happy? Was that person sad that they left? Was the school ready for a foundation Black American to run it? She was going to be the dean of that school, the aviation side. Was the school happy that she was going to come there and run it? How did she know the security guard? Did she even know who it was? I don't think they had a relationship. So, what really happened to Cameisha Clarke is the question.
Contributed richly to campus life at CAU. She became a cheerleader for the university, continued her commitment to sisterhood by joining Alpha Kappa Alpha, Sorority Incorporated, via the Alpha Pi chapter, and frequently served as a mentor and role model.
And y'all know there's been some type of conspiracy that when these young ladies are part of sorority, that there is a sacrificial part of that. Was that what this was? Was the Atamara, the alumni, was they a part of this? I mean, it's very strange that this lady was unalive after taking a job, a very important job as the dean of the college. After putting in so much work, her life was cut short. None of this makes sense. That's what keep bringing me back.
Model to other students. Her leadership qualities and dedication to uplifting others were recognized not only through involvement in these organizations, but also in her work as a student advisor and mentor at CAU. She was celebrated by the university's School of Education in an alumni spotlight only 2 months before her passing, reflecting her deep impact and the high esteem in which the institution held her. Dr. Clarke's professional journey was a testament to her passion for student development, educational access, and equity, especially among underrepresented groups in STEM and technical fields. Her early career included positions at CAU, where she worked as a seminar professor and student advisor, helping countless students navigate their academic and career pathways. In the subsequent years pursuing new horizons, Dr. Clarke moved to California to join Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology in Inglewood. She was initially hired in student services and quickly distinguished herself through her work ethic, compassion, and innovative approach to student engagement. Her promotion to Dean of Student Affairs marked a significant milestone, placing her at the forefront of initiatives designed to strengthen student support, foster mentor networks, and expand opportunities for women and minorities in aviation and aerospace. As Dean, Dr. Clarke spearheaded outreach programs to regional aerospace firms, facilitated internship placements, and advocated tirelessly for the academic and holistic wellness of students, especially those from underserved backgrounds. Her vision was one in which every student, regardless of origin, would have a pathway into fulfilling, impactful careers. Outside her formal roles in academia, Dr. Clarke was a tireless advocate for gun violence prevention and community service, drawing from personal convictions and observing the toll of gun violence on families and community placements, and advocated tirelessly for the academic and holistic wellness of students, especially those from underserved backgrounds. Her vision was one in which every student, regardless of origin, would have a pathway into fulfilling, impactful careers. Outside her formal roles in academia, Dr. Clarke was a tireless advocate for gun violence prevention and
there it is, right there. Was this it? Let's hear that again.
academic and holistic wellness of students, especially those from underserved backgrounds. Her vision was one in which every student, regardless of origin, would have a pathway into fulfilling, impactful careers. Outside her formal roles in academia, Dr. Clarke was a tireless advocate for gun violence prevention and community service, drawing from
This could be it. That could be it, y'all. She was a tireless advocate against gun violence. A lot of gun carrying people dislike people like Dr. Clarke, or should I say Dean Clarke. This may be what happened. A lot of gun-toting people don't like you to talk against gun. Maybe she was about to get a bill push. Maybe something was about to go her way other than this job. Maybe she was about to get a few laws passed against gun violence, against gun owners. Something was going on. This lady was, it said she was an advocate. She made it her. Other than the work ethic, the education, she was a big time advocate against guns. So maybe this was the reason. Let's keep listening.
Personal convictions and observing the toll of gun violence on families and communities, she founded the C Squared Foundation in Atlanta, an organization focused on reducing firearm misuse and supporting safe communities. The foundation's initiatives included educational programs, policy advocacy, and community outreach, reflecting Dr. Clarke's belief that substantial positive change stemmed from grassroots action and education. She was also a firm believer in mentorship, spending significant time working with youth and young adults, empowering them to see and realize their potential even when circumstances seem difficult. Her colleagues and mentees have consistently attested to her dedication, empathy, and willingness to help others without reservation, highlighting numerous stories of personal transformation attributed to her guidance. And can we say Black excellence? On May 2, 2025, Dr. Clarke's impactful life was abruptly cut short in a tragic incident that underscored the urgent need for workplace safety and gun violence prevention. The incident unfolded around 3:40 to 3:45 p.m. at Spartan College's Inglewood campus, located at 8911 Aviation Boulevard, less than a mile from Los Angeles International Airport. Jesse Figueroa, a 40-year-old security guard recently employed via a third-party contractor, entered the administrative building dressed in his security uniform and armed with a handgun. Figueroa opened fire in a workplace violence. It was not a random act, but apparently involved Dr. Clarke. Both Dr. Clarke and emergency responders acted swiftly. Arriving officers found the victims breathing and reached them to harbor U.S. Figueroa opened fire in a targeted execution-style attack that authorities characterized as a case of workplace violence. It was not a random act, but apparently arose from a disagreement or a workplace grievance Figueroa believed involved Dr. Clarke. Both Dr. Clarke.
Wait a minute. Maybe we have the answer here. If we listen to details, we may have the answer here. According to what they just said, that the dean and the security guard had a disagreement. No, they said the security guard had some type of infraction that he thought that Dr. Clarke had something to do with it. Maybe they terminated him that day. Maybe he got in a write-up. And he thought that since Dr. Clarke was the new dean, she had something to do with it. So he had to take her out, unalive her, because he thought that he got written up or got a warning. Something happened between them. And this guy thought that she, Dr. Clarke, the dean, Miss Clarke, had something to do with it. The only thing I can figure, he got terminated because they say he came up there on the day he was off and did this. So he had to think that he was terminated or he had been suspended for some reason. And in his mind, Dr. Clarke has Miss Clarke has something to do with it. And whatever it was, it made him angry. because the way he killed her was execution style. So he had to make sure she was unalived so that whatever was going on with him may, you know, give him his job back or get him back in there. But anyway, whatever he was accused of, whatever happened, it was over a disagreement that he thought she had something to do with it. So that's another angle. That's another way of looking at this. We'll continue on for a few more minutes here.
And her assistant or receptionist were shot and critically wounded. Emergency responders acted swiftly. Arriving officers found the victims breathing and rushed them to Harbor USLA Medical Center. Despite intensive medical care over the next 3 days, Dr. Clarke succumbed to her injuries on May 5th, 2025, surrounded by loved ones. The assistant survived but continued recovery in hospital. After the shooting, Figueroa fled the scene in his personal vehicle, setting off a region-wide police search. Thanks to prior knowledge of his identity and vehicle, law enforcement quickly tracked and apprehended him in Koreatown, Los Angeles, within hours of the incident. Authorities recovered a firearm in his vehicle at the time of arrest. Subsequently, Jesse Figueroa was charged with 1 count of murder, 1 count of attempted murder, and 2 firearm felonies, including possession with prior violent convictions and possession as a felon, with sentencing enhancements for use of a firearm. Prosecutors allege his actions were premeditated and malicious, increasing the severity of the charges.
Look, they were going over the fact that this was a felon who had a gun and was working at that school. Maybe somebody, I ain't gonna say Dr. Clarke or Miss Clarke or Cameisha Clarke, somebody found out that this guy was a felon and he was working at the school. Somebody knew this. Maybe the other dean looked over it. Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what color or race the other dean was prior to her. But maybe she looked over it. And somebody found out who he thought was Cameisha Clarke, the dean, the new dean. Maybe he thought that she said get rid of him. Maybe somebody in upper management knew that if she found out he was a felon, they would get in trouble. So maybe he was terminated because somebody found out that he was a felon. And he was security guard there being a felon. But for some reason in his mind, let's look at the mind of this character here. And amen, he got caught. At least cops are right like a clock once a day or twice a day. But like I say, this guy here got the wrong information. Maybe she did fire him. Maybe she found out. But in his mind, she did. She found out and got rid of him. And he was very angry about that. And sometimes, you know, when you some people get a good job and they don't think that they could find another one that pays the same. And maybe he had a family. I don't know. They didn't talk about his family. But if he had a family or he had more bills than he can handle with that job, he was able to stay afloat. But once she found out this guy was a felon, she said he got to go. Or whoever was in charge found out, and he thought that it was her, the new dean, that got him terminated. I believe this guy was terminated and was trying to get back. And when he was terminated or suspended, you have to consider that because he was still there, hanging around. If he was terminated, I don't know if they would have let him back on the camera with his uniform. So I'm gonna have to say he was suspended without pay and waiting to for the dean to discuss whether he should come back or not. This is what I think. Something happened such as that. And I'm gonna go ahead. And end this show. Thank y'all for joining me. It's Everything Black. We had to look into the possibilities that this was a pre-planned or a planned murder or a planned unalivement for Miss Cameisha. R.I.P. to you, sister. Everything Black. Join us next time. Like and subscribe on YouTube.